Hey, I'm Tanner, and these are my brothers Pat and Dane. In the water, we're pro surfers, but every moment in between, we're on a mission to explore the world, and we want to take you along for the ride. Next on the list, Southern Australia. This is our travel kit. There's a couple things you can find down here that are really important. You got the Bronze Zinc sunscreen, you got the Lucas Papa cream, and those two are insane for protecting from sunburns and if you have sunburns. Then you have Barocca. If you're feeling a little achy, a little hungover, you pop one of these things and you're right back onto it. And those three things you can find at a chemist store. They're gonna be really inexpensive and you're gonna be stoked that you have them. Another thing is compression socks. Always helps to have a functioning foot once you get off that plane. And whatever you pack, you're gonna be psyched when you're down here in Oz, so come get it. It's April. It's the end of summer in Australia and the big contest at Bell's just finished. So we figured what better time to get the three of us together and enjoy the last of the Aussie sun.
We're on the heartbeat right here. This is Torquay centerfold. It's going down Main Strip. We're on Gilbert Street. It's kind of all the restaurants, bars.
In surfing terms, Torquay is really significant. It's home to the longest running event in history, which is 52 years, and it takes place every year at the Bells Bowl. Getting here, it's kind of the first main city out of Geelong. Flying to Melbourne, hit right through Geelong, and then you come straight into Torquay and you run right into the ocean.
There's epic waves all up and down this coastline. You can't go wrong.
You got Torquay, then straight into Jan Juc, and then you got Bird Rock, then you got Winkiepop, then you got Bells. Now you're out of town, the south side. Now you're talking Fairhaven, Lorne, and now you're in Apollo, and then you're talking Johanna Bay, and then 12 Apostles to kind of kick it off there.
All right, so you're frothing. Have you seen them frothing? These waves are just cooking out there.
Growing up in Southern California in San Clemente, we're used to crowded breaks. Sometimes we even have to fight for our waves. So that was one of the raddest things about Southern Oz. There were so many breaks, we could always find our own peak. If you're staying here in Torquay, you got a couple options, right? You got the campground, you've got your wicked vans if you really want to get bohemian. You got hotels here in town, not as much in Jan Juc, but our favorite option, I think, is just renting a house, kind of having a whole crew there, and you're just soaking up the vibe. You're kind of getting a little bit more into the community, a little bit more of a suburban vibe, and that's what we love.
Take one.
Good to see you. It's been a while.
I know.
I'm Adam Robertson, resident of Torquay, and I am an ex-pro surfer and now a high-performance surf coach. As you guys,
We're down here at Jan Juc Surf Beach, and we're gonna get to catch up with our good friend Adam Robertson. He's here now coaching a bunch of kids from the area, so the guy knows his stuff. So it's killer. Can't wait to catch up with him.
Pretty much every kid coming out of Torquay learns to surf here.
Adam Robbo is the surf coach in Victoria, and I've come on board to help him out both with numbers and to build my own personal skills. Torquay Boardriders Club, there'd be between 150 and 200 members. We're the Bells Angels. But pretty much we've got hundreds of kids just about in Victoria, all with the potential to go a long way in surfing, and we're just doing everything we can to help get them there.
Kind of reminds me, like, yeah, you've been to San Clemente before.
It's like
T Street's kind of
just like T Street.
Boys getting around, running events and bringing the community together through surfing.
We're the most successful boardriders club in Victoria, and we're a real passionate team, and we always stick together.
How sick is Cahill?
How sick is Cahill? It's gonna be so much fun to get in the water with him at Winky.
He's kind of on the Groms for Life program.
Yeah,
He
no,
kind
I'm
of is definitely
super
on the
pumped.
Groms
I'm really pumped we got to catch up with him about the board riders, and he was saying actually that the board riders hold a contest out at Winky, so they get to surf like with 4 guys out once a year and just like put it down for the boys.
Psych, and I heard the sickest stories about Winkiepop. I just want to brats, just dropped my first highlight.
Bells and Winkiepop sit just below giant rocks and cliffs. So to get to the water, you have to cruise down a long winding wood staircase. Winky is to the left and Bells is to the right. You definitely don't need to surf or even swim to enjoy the vibe. Just dig on the scenery, the coastline, and people watch as the locals do their thing. Being on the road is all about having fun, so don't forget to share the stoke. And definitely keep an eye out for the kangaroos. You're an Oz, mate.
Good old Torquay Club forever. We know how to roll a ball. Side by side we play together for the good old blue and gold. See our pennants proudly flying from a clubhouse by the sea. We will make you very welcome when you come to Torquay. Yes. Very good, guys.
My name is Des Bruin and I'm chairman of the bowling club.
We're an old club.
Des, careful.
We're this thing.
What is that?
Well, the club's been here for, I think it's 87 years now. Lawn bowling is a game of great skill. It's a great social game. It allows people of all ages to be able to participate in competitive sport.
You look like surfers.
Okay, so bust out your must-do list and immediately write down Australian lawn bowling. Insane old school Aussies, they're full of classic stories. The cheapest beer in town and a mental ocean view. Just don't get cocky because this crew of silver foxes will take you to school.
There are 340 members of the Torquay Boardriders Club. We're slap bang right in the middle of town on an area called Taylor Park.
There are tons of lawn bowling clubs around Australia, but the Torquay Club is one of the best. Des and the crew showed us the ropes, we played a few games, and in true Aussie style, finished with a cold one. The Bird Rock Cafe is kind of a classic must-stop if you're headed to Torquay. They have great beers and pizzas, and Dane had never been there, so we had to stop in and say hi.
I'm Mick Bennett, Bird Rock owner, manager.
That feels pretty much right at home. The Bird Rock, second beer. I heard all the stories. The boys come home every time. They're like,
Finally made it?
yeah. I've been missing it.
Every time after the Bells contest finishes, I feel like we always end up here just having an insane night.
Yeah. Pretty much, like once the contest is done and once everyone is either, bombed out or won,
Yeah.
they all end up here.
Bird Rock's for the locals, really. We don't really advertise out of town, and that's just what we do.
Would you be able to pour us a jug?
That's a rad chat.
Everybody knows those spots where you can't quite put your finger on what makes them so awesome, but when you're there, you're having the best time ever. Bird Rock is definitely one of those spots. So, if you go, make sure to tell Mick we sent you, and don't forget to ask for an avatar or the scorpion.
It's only one shot. Just want to dip them in there. All right, boys. Crunchy. Oh, yeah, baby. Scorpion. Go for a beer. Go for the beer. Take a ball. Ooh. Scorpion.
Mick, there we go. That was the scorpion. And it was like nails, like you said there. Woo! Well, one is done, but we aren't leaving Southern Australia just yet. So check in for part 2. We're gonna devour the culture capital of Australia in search of meat pies and beer. This is Down Days.